Check it out one time.
Yeah, I'm winning. Nothing in my way, never slow down. I done made mistakes, but that's old now. Only better days I can show now. Now it's time. Yeah, I'm winning. Waiting on this day for a long time. They congratulate for the show now. Nothing in my way, only welcome to the winner circle.
Welcome to the Winner's Circle, where we empower you with the knowledge you need to succeed. I'm your host, Dr. Yolanda Gamble. I'm so happy that you have joined us. Oh, this is going to be an amazing time. I just want to know, are you ready to win? I'm telling you, I am. And tonight, we're going to be thinking and talking and flowing and going with the subject of financial wellness. Oh, I know many of you have been waiting for this session because we began to kind of get your hearts and minds prepared for it. And I know you've been waiting. So I'm not going to postpone too long, but I want you to know it is your time to win. It's your time to succeed financially. Financially. And you will do it. And I know many of you have set your goals, you have plans, you have career goals, and so many things that you want to achieve in life that will take money to do it. So we're going to help you do that. We're going to help you reach your goals. And again, this program is all about empowering you with the knowledge you need to succeed. So that's what we're going to make sure happens each and every time you come in and watch this broadcast. So again, thank you so much for joining me. I have a special guest. I know you're looking, you're saying, Dr. Gamble, who is that good-looking man sitting beside you? Let me tell you, he's my brother. He's my brother from the Bahamas. This is none other but the renowned Dr. Ricardo Miller. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you for being with me.
Thank you for having me, Dr. Gamble.
Wow.
I am excited. This is amazing.
Yeah.
I'm finally here.
Yes,
I'm
you
looking
are.
forward to the show.
You are right here. And hey, you know, I have to tell you a little bit about Ricardo Miller. Because this is such a phenomenal guest tonight, and you're going to just be so blessed. And I say it tonight a lot because a lot of times most of my speaking engagements are at night. Most of the time. But many of our guests are watching in the day. They're watching all over the world. So it may be morning, afternoon, or night. Whatever time it is, I'm happy that you've joined us. Let me tell you a little bit about my guest. I'm going to read some of this bio. I'm telling you, some of my guests, I can just go right off my head and just talk about it. But you need to know who's going to impact your life tonight, okay? So I'm going to give it to you. He is a visionary pioneer in the realm of personal development. Ricardo's passion is helping people become their best. So get ready for that. Recognized as one of the top influential leaders in the Bahamas in personal development. Ricardo is committed. He's committed to leaving a lasting legacy by investing in the next generation and beyond. And I want to stop there because there are several young adults, millennials, who watch this broadcast. Isn't that awesome? Yeah. And I've been telling them, I said, get ready, because, oh, he's coming. Oh, he's coming, yes. And let me just tell you, he's also a pastor. He's also a pastor, and Ricardo's commitment to excellence in children's ministry alone is transforming nations. Commencing with his native Bahamas, Ricardo has led a national initiative that culminated in the official institution of National Children's Ministry Day. National Children's Ministry Day. Wow, this is powerful. Which allows individuals from around the world to visit the Bahamas to evangelize children and equip parents. Isn't this wonderful? Train children's ministry workers and to influence civic and kingdom leaders on the importance of reaching young people. So now this session is going to be a crossover between the older generation and the young generation. I'm excited. I know. You said, wow, Dr. Gamble, you really are hot tonight. I am, because we got some real good guests here. All right, let me give you a little bit more. That Ricardo continues his commitment to excellence. It is a hallmark in all of his many endeavors, which include, but are not limited to, hosting a weekly radio broadcast on the Fishbowl Radio Network, wow, called Effective Living. Powerful network, powerful radio broadcast. I've listened in on it myself. Publishing over 5 books. If I would have known that before this broadcast, you would have brought your books, let me tell you. So you're going to have to go online. We're going to give you some information about it, how you can get his books as well. Speaking at national conferences and platforms such as group publishing, Kids Men, it's called Kids Men, like ministry conference. Isn't that wonderful? T.D. Jakes Mega Fest. Wow. We all love T.D. Jakes, don't we? We certainly do. And also, Morris Cirillo, one of my favorite pioneer preachers, which is awesome, in his World Evangelism Conference, just to name a few. Well, I tell you, this man he's a world changer. He is a world changer and an influencer through individual and congregational coaching. Now, let me tell you, not just that, he is a financial coach. Wow. How in the world do you do all of this?
A team.
A team of people?
You gotta have a team to help you pull some of those areas together,
yes,
where you alone cannot reach the level of accomplishment you're trying to do.
That is so true, and hopefully you heard that, because I'm telling you, you cannot do any vision alone, and you're so, well, you're so right. We have to have a tribe, don't we?
Come on.
Isn't that wonderful? Okay, so he's a financial coach and continues to transform lives through financial management. So that's what we're going to be focusing on tonight, financial wellness. And
forward to it.
Hey, and we're just going to dive into some questions that I believe that you would have on your heart to ask Ricardo regarding your financial well-being. So we're going to make sure that we ask him a lot of questions. How about that? A lot of questions. So he's a very dedicated man. And you're a man of God. Your faith is in Christ Jesus, right?
Certainly.
So we have the same faith, and we share the same faith, and you're influencing the world.
Yes.
So it's not just the church world, the religious world, but the world at large, right? And corporate world, and all of these many different veins, and music world, and just everywhere. This man, I tell you, is vast in his influence. So we're really happy to have you, and we're glad that our audience has joined us so that they can also experience you just as I have. When we first met, I was taken right away. I was like, wow, this man has one of the largest children's ministry that I knew. And as a trainer, training many other workers, which was so awesome. But then as we've grown in the relationship, we've come to know that you are vast in many other areas. So
it's a blessing to be able to tap into multiple streams of giftings as well.
Yes, multiple streams of gifting. And I was talking to a millennial, a young adult male. He said, a lot of times, I don't know if since I'm in my 50s now, they start calling me mom. I'm like, do I look like mom? Well, I am a mom. I do have 2 adult children and grandchildren too. So, but everybody wants, just like the younger generation, want to call me mom or Miss Gamble or whatever. I love it anyway. It doesn't bother me at all. But what he was saying, he said, I'm just so multi-talented. Sometimes I don't know what to do with all this talent. I know some of you feel the same way, but God had just endowed him with so much talent. And I just told him, I said, everything has a season.
That's right. That's right.
Right?
Yeah.
So you can't do everything all at once.
That's right.
But what is pressing up on your heart at the moment,
Yeah.
that is the very thing that you should be focusing on and doing.
Yes.
Okay? So I want to pass that on to you, right?
Yeah.
Okay, this is good news. So now we're going to jump right on into this financial wellness and empowerment on today. So let me just ask you a few questions. Are you ready for this?
I am ready.
Are you ready? He looks ready. He looks ready. Because
Yes.
some people are asking these
Yep.
questions.
Yep.
And I was telling some that we're going to be coming on the show tonight, and we're going to be talking about financial wellness. So there were several questions. So let me just jump right on in. What are the 3 financial mistakes people make, and what is the best way to avoid these mistakes? What are the 3 financial mistakes people make? People make a lot of mistakes,
Yep.
Ricardo. So
Yeah.
help us.
Well, once again, thank you for having me on the show.
You're
I'm
welcome.
delighted. 3 mistakes commonly made, after 24 plus years in ministry and working here in the United States and throughout the Caribbean and Central America region, I've discovered something. Someone is succeeding in every environment. So the first thing I would say when it comes to identifying, no matter where people are watching this broadcast, they can say, well, he don't understand because he's in Texas. He don't understand because he's in the Bahamas.
And you
which
know
is
they say
progressive.
that.
Right. But I'm
Yeah.
saying, what I'm about to say is 3 things that's universal.
Okay.
It is universal, which is the first thing is a misconception about wealth.
Oh.
That's the first deal.
Yeah.
It's a bad idea planted in the head that limits them from ever acquiring the wealth, because wealth is everywhere.
That is so true. Did you
Is it?
hear that? Wealth is everywhere. Now, you're a native Bahamian.
Yes.
My family, I just want y'all to know, I'm not Bahamian, but oh yes, this is where I met Ricardo in the Bahamas,
Yeah.
and that is so true.
Yeah.
Wealth is everywhere.
Yes.
But we want to be able to tap into that wealth,
Yes,
right?
Yes. So I think the first thing is being able to understand that my mere existence is an indication that I should have a part of the pie.
Oh,
There is a pie,
there is a pie.
right?
Tell us about that
Yeah,
pie.
the pie is the portion of what we acquire to enjoy life. And somebody said, well, you know what, I want my piece of the pie. Well, you determine the portion of the pie that
All
you will
right.
get. So I think it's the first thing is getting the right perspective down in regards to wealth. Because, someone said to me the other day, I'll never be broke another day in my life. And I said, what do you mean? He said, well, I got $20 in my pocket. I'm like, you broke, man.
Is that all you have?
That's not gas. That's not gas money. You have
Yes.
enough. That can't buy 2 lunch meals for 2 good days, all depending on where you're located.
Yeah.
And it's because the perception is $20 is still having something.
Yeah, still having something.
When what I'm saying is you can move to a level that it's beyond having $20, is having 6 months of emergency fund.
Wow.
Is being able to say, in the event that I had to stop working right now, I can still live and sustain at the same level
Right.
for 6 months or maybe a year without having to simply ask for assistance from anyone.
Yes.
That right there, to me, is moving in the direction.
You're moving in direction.
And I'll never be broke another day in my life. In other words, I can sustain my current lifestyle 6 months out or a year out without having to simply say, I need help.
So, this is what's happening right now. Not saying $20
Yep.
is just, it's not so good, but we're saying don't let this just be about getting by.
Yes.
At least I have something.
Yes, yes.
Don't have that kind of attitude.
Yes,
Don't have that kind of behavior. But continue to move beyond that behavior. That's not a bad behavior, but it's not the best behavior. So you're moving on past that kind of behavior where you can have a sustainable income
Yep.
that can last up to at least 6 months without
yep.
you worrying about how you're going to make
Yep.
ends meet, right?
Yes, I believe, Dr. Gamble, that the Bible says, according to your faith be it done unto you.
Oh,
So
help us with that.
expectation is critical when it comes to wealth.
Uh-huh.
If you don't understand that piece of the pie is yours, you may simply go around the pie looking for crumbs.
Yes.
So there is a statement that simply says, you don't want to You don't want to feed a man a fish, you want to teach him how to fish.
Teach him how to
right?
fish.
I
Exactly.
think that there's another level of teaching how to own ponds. You know, I think
I
there's
like
a
that.
level where we say, hey, I want you to be able to have something to sustain yourself, and I want you to be able to take care of your family, but how about starting to think generational? So
Yes.
what I'm saying is not just thinking from the crumbs perspective.
Yes.
It's being able to understand that I can start thinking generationally.
Yes.
Somebody said, well, I don't have anything now. It's not a matter of having anything in the natural now. It's being able to have something within the heart
Yes.
that says, beyond my natural position, beyond my current position. In other words, I don't walk by faith. I don't walk by sight. I walk by faith.
Yes.
It's not based on
And
where
faith
I am
is
now.
expectation.
It's expectation.
Because
Yeah.
a lot of times we think faith is just praying to God and holding on to the best
Yes.
best you can,
Yes,
and
yes.
Lord, I just know you're going to work it out for me.
Yes.
But no, you have to have an expectation.
Yes. Beyond where you are
Beyond
currently.
where you are currently.
Yeah.
And if you're only just set in where you are, that's a big mistake.
Yes, yes. So that's why I said that's one of the mistakes to make. Another mistake that people fail to do is simply educate themselves for what they're praying for.
Oh, that's good. Educate yourself
For what you're
for
praying for.
what you're praying for.
Is it?
That's great.
Because when
Thank
it comes,
you. Yes.
you want to have the skill set to be
Right.
able to appropriately put it where it needs to be so that it can become what it needs to be.
Right.
But if you receive it, but you're not skilled in managing it,
Exactly.
more than likely you will lose it.
More than likely you will lose it. And we're talking in respect to finance, but
Yep.
let me just give you a little quick testimony that in another arena where I'm a singer.
Yep.
And I had prayed to sing when I was a young teenager.
Yep.
And, well, my mother came to me. She said, you know, the Lord's going to anoint you to sing. And I said, okay, yay, that's
Right,
what I
right.
was praying for. I want to sing.
Yes.
Well, I had to go get lessons
Yes.
by professional singers
Yes.
and, you know, who could condition my voice
Yes.
for where I really wanted to go,
Yes.
you know, in music.
Yes.
And so it takes something. Yes, you do have to. You can pray for it, but you're going to have to invest
Yes.
in
Yes.
some sort of
Yes.
way
Yep.
for it, in order for it to perfect, all
Yep.
right?
Yep.
In order for you to get more money.
Yep.
You've got to get education,
Yep. Yep.
right?
Yep.
So it goes beyond prayer.
The third
Prayer's
one-
good, but
yeah.
you got to go beyond prayer.
I'll throw this third one in there real quick. and
Okay,
that
great.
That would be failing to understand that starting to manage little is how you get much.
Start to manage little is how you get much. That is good.
A lot of people believe,
Yeah.
well, you know, they only pay me minimum wage. I can't do much with this.
Mm-hmm.
And the truth of the matter is, if you're faithful with little,
Right. If you're faithful over little, a few things,
Things,
the
come
Bible
on.
says
Yes,
that a
yes,
few
yes.
things,
Uh-huh.
yeah.
You-
He'll make you what?
ruler over much.
Ruler over
So
much.
you want to
Wow.
become a good steward.
Be a
But
good
where
steward.
you are
Yeah.
now, that's one of the mistakes. Someone says, I want $1 million. How are you doing with $100?
There you go. How you doing with the $100?
Is it?
Yes, that is so true. You know, there have been many people said, you know, Dr. Gamble, when I get rich, I'm going to support your ministry.
Yes, yes.
Well,
Yeah.
my God, if you're not supporting
Supporting
now,
now.
how
Yeah,
am
yeah,
I going to
exactly.
expect
Exactly.
that you're going to be a good steward
Yeah.
over the larger amount of money and whether or not you're going to really be giving?
I
Can't
told
trust that at all. Can't
no,
trust
not
it.
at all. I told a young man a couple of weeks back, I said, hey, I can see one day you're going to give your church $1 million. He said, Pastor, I can't do that. I won't
Is
be
that
able
what
to
he
do
said?
that." I said, no, I said, one day you'll be able to tithe $1 million. He said, man, that might be too much. I said, if you heard what I said, though.
Right.
He says, pardon me? I said, you will tithe $1 million.
You will tithe $1 million.
He said, but I still think that's too much. See? Because the perception he believed in what it gives,
Yes.
he has no understanding that he is given from the proportion of what he's receiving.
Right.
And if he can tithe $1 million.
Exactly.
So it speaks to the fact that deep within, he don't even believe he will be qualified, even if he had it, to ever
Exactly.
give $1 million.
Exactly. So he'll never have $1 million.
He will never have $1 million. And that's
He
unfortunate
can't see
because
himself with $1 million, or he's never going to have it.
because you need to understand these are conditioning factors that you need to understand that, you know, someone says I can't tithe $10,
Right.
or I can't tithe $20. It starts with being faithful with the little, especially when you're believing for much.
Especially, exactly. Well, you were answering these questions so very well. I want to give you another. And, you know, there may be someone in our congregation, or I should say, I've said congregation because I heard you say congregation, but in our audience, that may say, I'm broke and I'm poor. Dr. Gamble, I'm broke and I'm poor and I don't have any money. All right, and so we're talking about money, talking about investing, talking about growing your money, getting from that place, that mindset of just a little is enough, but increasing all of this. What do this person need to do to change that kind of mindset? What do they need to do to change that?
Such a
You're saying
great
they're broke
question.
and they're poor.
To be able to identify where you are is critical in order to get out of where you are. That's very important. Being able to say, I know I'm broke, currently I believe I'm poor, but I think it's, once again, it's a struggle with mindset. So there's a reconditioning factor there, because all depending on where you're located, you have to understand that there are opportunities there that can change that.
Yes.
So your desire needs to be more than your reality.
Yes.
Your desire in the sense of, my reality is I'm broke. My reality is my current condition speaks to the fact that I'm poor. I don't have what I believe a lot of other people should have. And so it's starting to accept the fact that this could change. I think that would be the first thing. The second thing is being willing to put in the work. The Bible says, see a man diligent in his business, he'll stand before kings.
Yes, must be diligent in your business and
So
consistent and not giving up when times get rough. Just keep on going. Believe in your dream.
Being willing to go the extra mile. Being willing to show up on that job, arrive early, leave late. Saying I may need to get a second job to get a jump start. Being able to go beyond your current level of employment to basically say I may need to develop myself.
Yes, exactly.
To learn a craft or a new skill that can bring me up out of my current position. But it starts with believing that I can.
Believing that you can.
Because first, poor is more of a mindset than it is a reality.
You know, say it again. Say it again.
Poor is more of a mindset than it is a reality.
Than it is a reality.
The truth is we have struggles that hit us in life and we find ourselves at different levels, but someone else succeeds in every type of environment.
Yes. As a single mother, I had so many struggles. I was abandoned by my husband, and he left us broke, busted, and disgusted. I didn't know how to survive. I didn't know. And I went through that depression and that feeling that I could, how in the world am I going to ever rise up out of this thing? It looks like, it just seems like it just lasted for years upon years. And when the moment that I stopped believing that I was poor, the moment I stopped believing that I couldn't do it by myself, that I was just going to do it, that I'm rich. And even the Bible says, let the poor say, I am rich.
Yes, speak those things that are not,
That's
as though
right.
they are. So I have a shirt that says, good things are always happening to me.
Wow,
You
I
know?
want that.
Yeah.
You got copies of the shirt. You got more shirts. Yeah,
most
thanks.
certainly. But I think it starts with knowing that maybe this is where I am,
Yes.
but this is not where I belong.
It's not where I belong. And I didn't believe that anymore. I didn't believe that I belonged there. So when I stopped believing, everything began to change. I bought my first home, and my first home started when just began to just like a rippling effect. More properties and more properties. I acquired more and more properties, and so, you know, God just began to just bless me even the more. And I say God, and it is God who sees our faith and our expectations, but He also wants us to put forth our effort. As you're saying, put forth that effort. Be willing to get up early in the morning if you have to, stay late if you need to, or whatever has to happen to reach your desired goal. You know, I started working on my credit. I started you know, saving up some things because I was saving for a purpose. I tell people all the time, save for a purpose. You don't just save. You save for a purpose. And when you reach that goal, that's when you spend the money. Because you can't take the money to your grave. I'm telling you, somebody else will spend it, and they'll spend it raucously and wild, and they'll be glad you left it, right? So you save for a purpose, and when you reach that goal, then spend that money for that, because that's how it works. And every time I set a goal, I was always able to reach that goal.
That's good. Yes.
I want to encourage you, because there's some people right now who are saying, Dr. Gamble, it's been so hard. I'm so tired of looking at these bills. And believe me, I know what you're talking about. But let your goal be debt freedom. That's your goal, debt freedom. And begin to acquire. Just begin to put little money back, even if it's a little bit. You know, maybe it's a lot of it.
Yep.
Whatever amount it is,
Yep.
start putting a little bit about for a purpose,
Yep.
and then when you reach a certain place, put it on there. All right, get it done.
You know, a lot of people fail to realize discipline is a critical ingredient to
Glad you
acquiring
said
wealth.
that. Yeah.
You have to be prepared to simply say, I'm going to have a certain, what's this, delayed gratification. I'm going to put off for today what I need. I'm going to put off certain things so that I can have a certain discipline today,
Yeah.
so that I can have a certain reward later.
Right.
But I cannot have instant gratification and expect to have a delightful life over a long
That's
period
right,
of time.
because and people spend, they do that.
Yeah.
They spend what they have, and before they know it, they're living paycheck to
To
paycheck
paycheck,
because
yes.
they look at the only where they are right
Yep.
now, what they have, and what
Yep.
they want to do,
Yep.
you know. And sometimes the pressure is on with
Yep.
friends.
Yep.
Watch your friends.
Yes, yes.
Watch your company, because I tell you, broke folks like to hang around
Come
you.
on.
And they
That's
all
the truth.
spend
Yep.
the
Yep.
same.
Loosely. Yep.
Very loosely. You're right. And so no, we got to watch our company
Strong
too.
discipline.
That's why you my friend, brother. Woo!
Yeah.
I got that the Bahamas, you know, dance. Come on, y'all.
Yeah,
We got
yeah,
that.
let's do
We're
it.
gonna do that in a minute, right?
Yeah.
All right. I got some more questions though.
Go for it.
But you know, because there's some people who make a lot of money,
Yeah.
but still they're broke. Still they're not meeting their ends.
Yep, yep.
What do you do about that? How
You
can
know,
you help us with that?
It goes to the point of understanding vision. This is where vision comes into play.
Oh,
the Bible
wow.
said, where there's no vision, the people perish.
Oh, God.
So you
that's good.
acquired wealth, or you
Wow.
acquired more, but you don't have any vision, so you lose it. I think it's the late Dr. Miles Monroe who said this, where
Who was
purposes
our
are
spiritual
known.
father.
Come on, yes.
Who's
yes,
our Dr.
yeah.
Miles Monroe,
Dr.
our
Miles Monroe.
spiritual father.
He said, where purposes are known, abuse is inevitable. All right? So what happens is to get more, but not to have a clear guiding vision, is to simply drift and literally have undirected funding coming in.
Wow.
So what happens is you can make six figures, but now you find yourself your expense surpass the six figures.
Yeah, the expenses. Yeah,
See?
the expense surpasses.
So now you're struggling,
Yeah.
not because you're not making money, it's that your money doesn't have a plan.
That's right. Your money doesn't have a plan.
Yeah, is it?
Your money has to have a plan.
Yes.
That's
You see?
so
And
true.
that plan has to be in direct proportion to your vision in the next
Your
3
vision.
years, in the next 5 years, in the next 10 years. Where do I see myself financially? So that means I was talking to a good colleague of mine lately, and he says, listen, my wife is making $100,000. I just got a new job, and I was unemployed for about 6 months. And he said, I'll be making $100,000 as well. He said, we're deciding that this next year we're going to continue to live on the $100,000 that we've been living on.
Good for them.
So there's
Yeah.
a level of discipline rather than bringing their lifestyle up to match the $200,000 income. We may have someone who says, you know what, for the longest I had to live on $30,000 a year. But now, oh man, my husband is going to get this job that's going to give this certain level of income,
Yeah.
or my, both of us together are getting this raise. How about not using the raise? How about still operating?
Don't use the raise.
Yeah.
Operate on
No.
what you've been living off of all
Yes,
along.
Yes. And put that away.
Wow.
Start saving that. Start investing that so that you can find yourself over a long period of time based on your plan.
Based on your plan, your vision.
Yep.
Yeah.
That I don't want to find myself in a paycheck to paycheck situation, no matter, disregard the fact that I'm making good money.
Right.
But next 3 years, 5 years, 10 years from now, I want to be able to have better options.
Right.
And options comes with strategic planning early on.
Yeah.
Option gives you the strength to be able to make better decisions later if you choose now to start saying, I'm making the money, but I'm going to start making sure that I am planning strategically
I
to
like
ensure
that.
that I'm working for the future.
Every time you say something, I want to clap my hands. I want to applaud. I want to applaud him every single time. You know, we're almost at the end of our broadcast, so
Yeah.
it
And
just
you know, time
comes
moves.
so
Yeah, it happens.
fast. It
Yeah.
comes so fast, and you are a married man with a family, right?
Yep.
And there are so many men out there who saying, you know what, hey, I got this family, but I have goals and I have dreams, aspirations, things I want to accomplish too.
Yep.
But how do I balance? I know this is something here that just really has come to my spirit. How do I balance the family and my dreams and my career? How do I do that? How do you do it?
I would say it comes to with this understanding. Someone is succeeding where you're failing. Someone is having the victory where you're having great challenge. You have massive giftings and abilities and so much you want to do, but you're trying to figure out, how do I do all of this? I remember about 10 years ago, I realized that I had a ministry, a business, a church I was working with, and I wanted to operate something in the Bahamas. I thought, how can I do it all? And here's what I decided to do. I started to study those people who are managing and operating enterprises that was multifaceted.
Wow.
And I started to realize it's possible.
It's possible.
So if it's possible that Oprah can operate all of these different songs, and like I said, Joel Osteen and these various people, Bishop T.D. Jakes, I said, what's their secret?
What's their secret? And you started studying.
I started studying those who are doing what I'm desiring.
There you go. That works every single time. Yes, it does. And I do the same.
It's a proven factor. I came in from Fort Worth. I'm here in Austin, and here's what I'm discovering. Had I followed someone who knew how to get to Austin, it would have expedited my time to get to Austin without any off-track factors being placed in there.
Wow.
Study those who are succeeding where you're being challenged, and then discipline yourself to do what they do. Because a lot of times people say, well, I can't get up that early. Of course you can. You've chosen not to.
Right.
You say, well, I can't read that kind of book.
Choice.
I don't have time to do night classes like how they did.
Right.
Or I don't like asking people to help me.
Exactly.
Well, guess what? You're not called to do what you've been called to do alone. So if you want to become financially strong, you have to also realize you're going to need the support of others. So you may need to give something to get something.
Okay. Well, I'm telling you what, we're at the end of our broadcast, and this has been rewarding, but I must say that it is necessary, before we end, it is necessary to have multiple streams of wealth, and we have to plug that within the last few seconds. That is it's necessary.
It's extremely necessary. One of the reasons why you have to understand, what if you want to be, watch this, you want to be proactive, not reactive.
Okay.
So it's better to position yourself with the understanding, what if my small business did not get any customers for the next 3 months? What if I'm unable to work? You want to start planning. Somebody said, well, that's fair, that's doubt, that's wise, that's wisdom.
I think so too.
So what I'm saying is, when it comes to multiple streams of income, all of us can do it. We just have to become more strategic with it. And so maybe there's a form of different type of investment you can do. Maybe there's a small business idea that you can incorporate. Then there's a job you can have. I have two friends of mine who are doing Uber on the side. They have a small business and a job.
Wow, small business and a job.
You see,
wow.
So they're trying to position themselves now, while they're having the time to do this, to ensure that they don't always have to do this. I think it's Dave Ramsey who says, if you live like no one else now, you will be able to live like no one else later.
That is so true. I love Dave Ramsey too, and thank you for quoting that. I tell you, you must come back. Thank you. You must be my guest again. I want you to know how you can follow Ricardo Miller. Just go to RicardoMiller.com, and that's RICARDO Miller, MILLER.com, and you can get him there. You can also follow him on all of the social media veins, and that's at Ricardo Miller 1. Ricardo Miller #1, okay? And you can follow him that way. So I'm going to have you back, okay? I'm going to have you back. You have just been such a tremendous blessing, and just a gateway and a doorway to many of our successes, right? Many of our successes. Now many people know where to do and where to start and how to start. And you can do it. You can do it. We are doing it together. Yes. We're empowering you with the knowledge you need to succeed. So continue to watch and join us on the Winner's Circle. And please follow me, Dr. Yolanda Gamble, on YouTube. Subscribe, okay? And tell your friends about this broadcast. Thank you so very much for joining us in the Winner's Circle. Bye-bye.
I'm feeling real good, I feel brand new. I'm seeing brighter days, I got a handle. Every day I'm winning, might just do a dance too. The vibe in me done arrived, so the dance smooth. The Winner's Circle. focus so the vision fertile. All my people with me, sky's the limit, don't be jumping hurdles. Everything is whole now, nothing in a semicircle. Hit me on that phone line, welcome to the winner's circle. Peace. Past time, yeah, I'm winning. Nothing in my way, never slow down. I done made mistakes, but there's no now. Only better days, I